John, looking forward to the Royal Ascot meeting. We'll start with the Prince of Wales. You've got quite a few entered up. Who are you likely to see on the day?
I think Lord North will be most likely to go there. I think Mishriff will wait for the eclipse, and Mostadaf may well step up and trip in the Hardwick. I was very impressed with Bay Bridge the other day, which rather told me I should go to another race, and obviously the Japanese horse. It's a fabulous Prince of Wales.
Yeah, it does look as though there's going to be plenty of strength in depth. When you talk about the Japanese horses, they seem to be upping their game, don't they?
Oh, well, they've been buying the best brood mares, the best stallions, breeding there, and they train them hard, but they train them better and better now on quite tough surfaces, firm surfaces. So they're creating really hard athletes. And when we raced against them in the Middle East this year, we came to them and they just kept going. They are impressive horses.
How has Lord North come out of his run in the Tattersall Gold Cup in Ireland?
Good, fine. They went very hard. I know Ryan was forcing it with Leo with high definition. I think we sat too close to a fast pace, and the Curragh run at that pace just tapped his reserves of stamina, and he was in a good spot with a furlong to go, but that last furlong was an eternity for him.
And the plan to come back to Ascot, you almost must be quite looking forward to sending him there because he's got some good course form.
He has. He likes the track and he enjoys it, so we're looking forward to running him. He's not a young horse anymore, but he still enjoys his racing.
Yeah, and he's not had too much racing because he's a horse that you obviously nearly lost, but he's done remarkable recovery.
Yeah, he was very ill and off for a year with a horrible throat infection, but he's battled his way back.
And just to touch on Mishriff, he's in good form as well, heading for the eclipse then?
Heading to the eclipse, I think whether we go Eclipse Conjour, we got the Juddmonte, those races again. But he had a tough time there. The track was a bit different, and he got a load of dirt down him, and he was a bit knocked after that race, having won it the year before. So I've just been, I'm thinking second half of the year into the autumn is his game now.
Yeah. And when did you plan to reroute Mostadaf for the Hardwick?
Just on the fact that I think he doesn't have to turn a foot quite for that race with horses like that.
Yeah, really good strength and depth, and Bay Bridge. Obviously, you know exactly what he was beating last time out.
Yeah, exactly. You see a race like that points you in your direction.
It'll be really exciting to see the return of Inspiral. Are you happy with her at this stage of the season? Because obviously it's been quite a belated return.
Yeah, she's had a tough spring. So often with some fillies, hormonally in the spring, it's difficult. But she's like a little bud that stayed tight. She hasn't blossomed yet, but we're very hopeful. Get her there in good order with tons of respect for the Irish Guineas winner. But otherwise, her form has looked great this year, and to that extent it'd be nice to have her back, and in time she may well be a mile and a quarter filly.
Is that your experience over the years that's just made you be very patient with her before we've seen her so far?
Yeah, I don't, we all know, you can't force anything with an animal or a racehorse, or certainly not with a filly in the spring.
How tough will it be her first run back in the Coronation?
Well, she's going to have to run in tough races anyhow. They don't have nice little listed Group 3 trials, so yeah, it'll be tough. Of course it will. It'll be nice to have her back on the track.
Yeah, and of the opposition, it looks as though it's great that we're going to see a real coming together of the other 1,000 Guineas winners from literally around the world.
Yeah, it's super when you get them all together like a championship race, and so I think it'd be wonderful if we can be part of it.
Yeah, another horse that we're really excited to see will be Reach for the Moon. Obviously, shame he didn't get to run in the Derby for Her Majesty the Queen. So a bit of redemption possibly if you can get a Royal Ascot winner.
I think it was made in a way. He sustained an injury and he went back to this stud farm at Sandringham for 3 months. He did a great job with him. But the great thing about it, with Her Majesty, both the owner and breeder of the horse, she said, you do what's right for the horse. So it was quite obvious, pushing and forcing to get to Epsom was the wrong thing entirely. We got him, he got the touch tired in the Heron, but he ran a lovely race to be second there. Delighted with that, and then we can go on to Ascot with him, run a mile and a quarter. He may well go a mile and a half in time, but he just wasn't going to get there. So we were doing the right thing by the horse. We've been pleased with him and look forward to the Hampton Court.
Yeah, is he a horse that you've seen progress steady after that setback throughout this season?
Yeah, look, it's a long road back from those sort of things, and the great thing that he's come back is testament to the horse and the care that he's had. But look, he's quite a character. He likes to play. He's got a lot of spirit about him. So let's hope he puts a big run in there and we don't get too wide a draw.
Yeah, he is a real character, isn't he? He kind of looks like he shows off a bit at the races.
Definitely, very much so. That's in his nature. Some of those See the Stars boys can be like that.
Yeah, sure. Well, we look forward to seeing him. And also Emily Upjohn, likely that she could go to the Ribblesdale, a race that you've dominated in. I think the last 3 renewals you've won, is it 5 in total?
Yeah, I think it's. Let's see how it is. It was obviously not the original intention. She was left in because the old story says something happens, you can't run in the Oaks, or so. But we'll watch it through and we'll leave her in and then make the decision late on. It's not something I'd be wanting to say, oh, we're going to go there now, because she had a hard race. It didn't go smoothly for her, and she did well to get to where she got, actually, having get left and so wide. But to that extent, I'll leave the decision very late on it.
Yeah, just to make sure she's okay. But if she is showing you the right signs and she is fresh, would you be very tempted to have that quick backup?
If she's showing all the right signs, you would, but she'd have to be doing so.
Sure. Yeah. And how disappointed were you not to have come out with the Oaks when she ran such a credible race?
Well, disappointed. It wasn't the most fun day, you know. It was one of those things. But I mean, I think 2 very nice fillies.
Yeah.
I mean, they're well clear. The third filly's decent. She didn't quite stay, but she's a good filly, and they went away from them. So 2 lovely fillies, you know.
Yeah. It's always a pleasure to come to Newmarket and see a horse like Stradivarius on the gallops. How much satisfaction do you get as a trainer keeping a horse going for as long as what you have with Stradivarius?
Well, obviously it's easy with geldings, and I suppose in a sense it might be easy with a mare. But with a full horse, you know, they can start to think about other things. He's certainly very vociferous most of the time, shouting and playing about. But look, he's got a good mind. He's tough, and he enjoys his training. And you know, he's in a very fun, enjoyable horse to train. You can't say that about all of them. And to that extent, he's been great in the stables. But it was always the hope this year to go, you know, Yorkshire Cup, Ascot Gold Cup, Goodwood Cup. So as long as the weather holds fair for him, he's much better on good ground than he is on the soft and the heavy. Yeah. And if it does, I think he could put in a bold showing.
How much enjoyment do you get for you personally to have achieved what you have with this horse?
It's down to the horse. Yeah, I mean, you know yourself. If you've got a horse with the soundness, the heart, and the constitution and the mind, it's down to them and just going with it. And you're lucky when a horse like that walks into your stable. It's not so much down to the trainer as the trainer clocking what he's got, or she's got.
Yeah. And the owner?
Oh, the owner's passionate about cup races. He's been trying to breed a Derby winner for years, and he winds up with a cup horse. But that's what's going to happen. But he loves the staying races, and I think it's something that people, it's not that they were so much the big thing in the 1900s, and it got a little bit out of fashion because we were breeding so much the speed, that we're not having enough of those cup horses, and they're wonderful races, and people enjoy them, and you can have a conversation during them and have your opinion. I think sprinters are wonderful, but it's over a bit quickly, you know.
And having him come back year after year and showing that enthusiasm last time out, you must have been relieved after York?
Yeah, he's been showing us all the signs he enjoys it still at home. But he's like an old pro. He does what he has to do, and that's it. You know, he's not going to do anything exuberant these days. Definitely not. None of this winning by margins. It's going to be... He boxes a bit cleverly.
Yeah, and the great thing that we all appreciate going into a Gold Cup is we do get to see the same horses lining up, which is wonderful year after year. And you know exactly what they all want, what their best conditions are. So I suppose that makes it all the more exciting.
Yeah, it does. And I think, you know, obviously, you know, we go to Cheltenham and all the big meetings and you see these wonderful horses coming back year, and they might have a year out. And then they come back again. Obviously, in flat racing, they are retired. A lot of them at 3, 4. Fillies are bred, or they've gone abroad. So it's nice that we have a horse around. This becomes a bit of a yardstick.
Yeah, sure. Your best chance of a Royal Ascot winner, and how are you feeling about your team that you're going to war with?
Well, we got probably not enormous strength in horses. I say, well, that's going to take a lot of beating. That's going to take a lot of beating. We got horses who should run well. I mean, there's always a temptation at Ascot. Everyone wants to run there. You've got to be a little careful you don't wind up in a race you don't belong in. But we got a good team going forward. We thought we were weak last year, and we wound up just leading stable by about 1 second, I think, or so. 4 winners. The year before, we were leading stable with 6 winners. I'm not expecting anything like that, okay?
Yeah. And how are you feeling in the build-up and having your son alongside you, and how's he taking the preliminaries himself?
No, he's great. He's great to work with. He's been with me quite a long time. I mean, all these school holidays, university holidays, so a long time. Then he was, you know, assistant for a long time and then co-trainer. So it's been a very natural progression, and he keeps me on my toes.